Hello and welcome into a brand new installment of the Career Competitor Podcast with me, Steve Mellor. And as always, we're brought to you by the CG Sports Network, and we are the show that seeks to light that competitive fire within you in order to jumpstart or optimize your career. I am back for part 2 on my competitive core subject of that of checklists. And I hope you were able to tune in to my one from last week. If you didn't, it's only a 5-minute listen. So what I actually suggest is before you start trucking along with this one, maybe go back and listen to that one. But part 2 is all going to be about who is your checklist for. Last week, we really emphasized how we can sometimes be guilty of satisfying the checklists that are maybe put in front of us within our jobs, making sure that we show up on time, do all of our work to a certain standard, etc. So this week, what I'm going to do is really try to deliver more of a, let's say, constructive way of actually reworking and setting up a way to make the most of this check-in-the-box mindset on a day-to-day basis. So who is your checklist for? If we are going to have this mindset, like I just mentioned, of satisfying some sort of minimum standard, it's vital that we are the ones that are setting that standard. We have to understand who that checklist is for, and it has to be for us. This is a part where identity plays a massive, massive role. Are you a pleaser or are you a doer? Any and everyone that I've ever worked with knows that I'm a doer, sometimes at the expense of pissing off a lot of people. And the fact of the matter is, I love finishing my day looking back over this metaphorical checklist, sometimes real checklist of things I wanted to accomplish. And being able to feel this satisfaction that I was able to get some shit done today. And when it comes to the pleasing mindset, you're so focused on making sure that the people around you are satisfied that you're forgetting that you yourself have some standards that you are striving to implement each and every day. So here's the interesting part here. If you're focusing on you and you're setting your standards to the level that you feel they need to be in order to check these boxes off every single day, get the most out of your day, part of that checklist needs to be satisfying others. But you have to be very specific. You have to know exactly how you intend to do that. Are you going to do that in a way that is somehow answering to what they want from you? Or are you going to do that in a way where maybe you can have these expectations on yourself to make sure that there's no way that they cannot be satisfied with what you're doing because you have this very clear vision of what is expected of you, the boxes that you need to be checking in terms of your tasks, in terms of your behavior, everything about your day-to-day. What is it that you are trying to satisfy? So frankly, this is where it gets tricky. It's a very difficult situation to be in because a lot of you people listening here might be actually thinking, well, I work for this larger organization. I have supervisors. I have people that look over me that make it very clear what it is they want from me. But in those moments where we are assigned tasks, where we are asked to complete something for a larger entity, somebody above us, whatever it may be, what is it about your process that comes back to this checklist that you create within your day? Because part of your checklist should be, how am I going to approach tasks that are assigned to me? Not take it by a task-by-task basis. What is your process? What is your process? That ability to be able to say whatever is assigned to me, whatever comes my way, whatever is in front of me, whatever problems come my way, I know through my process, through these boxes that I check off in terms of how I go about my business, I know that at the end of the day, I will get in my car or I will close my laptop and I will say, job well done. Not so that somebody else is happy, but so that you are happy, that you feel as though you got the most out of what was asked of you on that day. And here's the funny thing, in my profession, from a coaching standpoint, it is paramount that I am not allowing the expectations of those around me to influence the way I do my job. It's paramount. Because I work with so many athletes. They all have different expectations. They all want to succeed on different levels. So my job is to create this very clear process, very clear expectations of how we go about our business, no matter what you're trying to become. If you're trying to become an Olympian or you're simply trying to earn your spot on the roster. Whatever it is, there is a process. There is an expectation within the way I work and what I expect from my athletes so that they understand how to satisfy the culture, how to satisfy the environment in terms of the work that has to be done. Doing what is necessary today to make sure that you walk away from it and say, job well done. So that is part two. That is part two on checklists. I hope you were able to sort of stay with me there. Because next week what we're going to do is actually bring the idea of creating a checklist that has yet to be created. So what we just talked about there with part two was doing what was necessary for you to make sure you weren't allowing yourself to fall to the minimum standards of others. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go one better next week. And we're going to say, how do we create checklists that have yet to be created? And that's where this whole process starts to get pretty fun. So make sure you tune back in for that next Monday for my competitive call. In the meantime, as always, best of luck with everything that you've got going on within your world and within your career. Make sure you're checking out our interviews coming up. We have so many good ones. I've probably got 2 months worth of interviews either scheduled or already recorded. So much fantastic content coming your way, guys. So keep coming back for more. Make sure you are subscribed to the show, whatever platform you're listening to us on. Give us a follow on Instagram as well if you're on there, career_competitor. And in the meantime, as I said, best of luck with everything. Talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.